All right, so welcome to another video. Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at General Motors. It's not Tesla, but it's General Motors. So there'll be some interesting things to take a look at. The stock is pulling back a little bit, so we'll be discussing that quite a bit. One thing I do want to let you know is if you're interested in checking out some of the things I have available on the freebies, check out the Traders Fly website. We also have a lot of great live classes that we do, and we've got one coming up April 25th, Market Seasons, and there's some other stuff on options trading there as well, and a lot of technical stuff here for the swing trading full circle. And definitely check out the Discord channel right here if you want to see some of the other charts and technicals that we have that I post in there. You can always ask some questions in there. All right, so let's kick things off. Let's look at GM. It's not yourself a Tesla, anything amazing, but GM and Ford, they're struggling a little bit. But GM here, I want to do a quick little recap here on GM stock. So when we look at just the overall stock here today, we are down already 4.42%. And if you look at kind of the 5 days, it's just starting to roll over a bit. 6 months, ooh, not looking good. So if we just kind of look at the yearly chart, you can see we were up in the 60s and now we are back down into about 37. So cut in about half. So it's quite a bit. So if we check out just GM right here, and you can see we were up in the $60, $65 price range. So when you look at from the highs to where we are down 44%. Wow, that stinks, you know, and that's like, oh my God, it's just some huge selling pressure. And really, it's kind of a crash when you think about it. So we've had some resistance right there, right at around that $65 level. You could definitely say that this stock's been struggling right now. And I think we've got that next wave coming in. So let's look at a little bit of the longer term here. And if we look at just where that stock's been, and where we're at, I think this is where we've got some more major selling pressure. Just look at the weekly chart perspective right here. So just looking at this line right here, I'm going to pinpoint a few spots of swing points or resistance levels. This is where a lot of money is made or lost, or a lot of people are positioned. And once that part goes, there's a lot less stability. So right now we're breaking that level. There's a lot of action in that zone at the 40, and it's breaking down in that area. We got some, you know, $20 level right here where there's a ton of support that came in, and that drove that stock higher to about 60. But this 40 was a huge action spot in 2019, 2020. So there's a lot of positions, big boys positioned, you know, could be CEOs, could be huge investors. They're positioned around that area. And here at the 40, there's a lot of takeouts at that zone. They could be rotating some money, whatever the case is, doesn't matter. But here, what you'll see is if we start drawing in a more near term, you can see that same spot of support here in just January 2021. That was support as well. When the stock cleared that level, right? We cleared that level right here. We retest that zone, okay? And the stock continued to go higher because new money was starting to come in. We got into the 65 level, started to struggle, and we've had some support around that 50. But now that stock has kind of topped out. So you've got kind of almost a double, triple top there that came in, and the stock pulled back, retested that same support that we broke and retested earlier. Now we did the same exact thing, just in reverse. So you can see we broke through, retested, tried to go higher. Now we're breaking down, retested, and now breaking down. So it is the same psychological trading here that's been going on. And this stock now is pulling back. And I think this thing can go back quite a bit lower, because if you've got a little bit of a huge, you know, break right here of this major area, you know, now you're looking at maybe about a $30 price point where the stock can kind of get into, because that's kind of the next swing point zone. So you got kind of that zone where those swing points right here are going to start lining up. So about 30, 32 is probably where you're starting to see those lineups. If you do an ABCD structure pattern, here's your A to B, B to C, C to D. Okay, so if we do kind of a measured move of that, and we just kind of take a look at it, let's just check it out. Right here, we're looking at about 15 points, 15.7. So going down about 15 points, you're looking at about 31, and that's where you're at, right at 30, which is a critical support. So if we get oversold, you're back into that 30 zone. So yeah, so this one, definitely there's a lot of huge selling pressure that's right there. It's going to be problematic. You've got some major volume that's on the sell side that's growing, and you also saw that earlier right there multiple times. So there's a lot of this bearish volume that's starting to play out right here. And, you know, there's that break on the anything upward trending. then tends to break and the volume starts to pick up. Anything on the upside, the volume is drying out. So there's a lot of caution here that you want to take with the stock. And I'd be, if you've got, let's say 500 shares, I would definitely sell calls. You could even sell calls in the money, that kind of thing. Again, you have to make your own personal trading decisions, but you want to be more protective of the stock if you're in it, because it is acting weak and struggling. So anyways, that's just my personal thoughts. This again depends on your investment horizon, risks, which you're looking at. If you've got a lot of other capital that you could deploy later on into it and average down, that's fine too. 20 seems to be a very solid support level for that stock across multiple years. So if you're looking to hold it for multiple years, that could be just fine as well. And you can see 30 was a pretty solid support in this stock, and 20 for sure was a solid support, because you could see that in 2011 here. And then right there as well in 2020. So you could see major support around that $20 level. And this one trades very actively. I mean, it's, 15, 20 million shares on average here. So it's very liquid. So there's a lot of people trading. And so, will the stock go to zero? Probably not. But what you're seeing is a lot of selling pressure coming in, and people are rotating to other things that they find more attractive. It is kind of sad for the company because, over the years it's been, looking at the last 100 years, it's phenomenal kind of evolution that's happened in the company. But from a stock perspective, there's other things right now that people are interested in, and they're moving their money in those spots. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to check out the classes that we have available. Join the Discord channel if you want to ask questions and you want to see some other great charts. And I will see you in the next video and update.